Wait a minute, I hear something.
Dr. Movie! Dr. Movie! Blueberry News! Dr. Movie! Dr. Movie! Yeah!
Sometimes you just need a movie from the future. Especially when you're in 1991. That future, right? Wow. So I just finished another one on my to-be list. And we're going to talk about it today. We're talking about Abraxas. Yeah. Guardian of the Universe. Oh, man. I mean, big name, cool poster art. I should have known, I guess, when it said it had Jesse Ventura in it, that, you know, nothing against Jesse Ventura, but when he's in a starring role, like the star, not co-starring, the star, yeah, it's going to be a problem. So, yeah, like I said, oh, by the way, welcome back, Dr. Movie, you know, yada yada. You already know that. That's why you clicked on this. I don't have to tell you something you don't already know, which you probably already know how good this movie is without me telling you. But we're going to talk about it anyways. Sci-fi / adventure. Is it really an adventure? Because it all happens on Earth. I don't know that it's really an adventure. Just say it. Let's look. It's got a 2.9 out of 10, which I'm kind of surprised. I figured it'd be a little less than that. Just saying. Let's read what this is about. Alien guardian Abraxas arrives on Earth in pursuit of his corrupt ex-partner, Secundus. How'd you like to have that name? What's your name? Secundus. Almost sounds like you're going to be saying a bad word. I can see your Secundus. Or Secundus, right? I can see your Secundus. Anyways, let's read it again. Alien guardian Abraxas arrives on Earth in pursuit of his corrupt ex-partner, Secundus, who has impregnated a woman with a potentially dangerous embryo. You think? The child, which is known as the co-mater, will be able to help Secundus secure power for himself. The co-mater. Now, I'm from the South, right? I'm from Tennessee. Co-mater is when you got your tomatoes in the fridge and somebody says, hey, throw me one of them co-maters. It has nothing to do with a telekinetic, powerful kid. Anyways, directed by Damian Lee. That's right, the same guy that brought us, what did he bring us? Ice Girls? Food of the Gods 2. Food of the Gods 2, yo. That's all you need to know. That's what we're getting here. Starring, as we already talked about, the late and great. Is he gone? Can't remember if Jesse Ventura's passed on or not. Jesse the Body, which became Jesse the Brain Ventura, because basically he's got that big chrome dome that you can kind of see through. We got Sven Thorson in this, who's been in pretty much every Conan movie, every Schwarzenegger flick, really. I like him in The Quick and the Dead. He's one of the guys in the shootout there. We get a cameo by Jim Belushi, who plays the principal of a school. So yeah, this thing's kind of all over the place, right? So let's talk about co-maters and succubus. No, I wouldn't. What was his name? Succumbus. Succumbus. I think that's even better than what it really was. What was it again? Secundus. Yeah. Abraxas, Secundus, and co-maters. You know, movie starts off, you're getting the telltale of Jesse Ventura is guess what? He's a robot, folks. He's a cyborg of some kind from the future, which I'm guessing he's from the future. It never really says the future, but when you look at this thing, come on, man. Let's just face it. Let's go ahead and talk about this. We'll get it out in the open right now. Right here, right now. This is a Terminator ripoff. I mean, all they did was flip the script, right? So instead of a guy coming from the past to kill the kid, or from the future to kill the kid in the past, we got a guy that comes from the future to come back to get a girl pregnant to make the kid and be a deadbeat dad for about 10, 12 years and then come back and try to reclaim the kid. That's Secundus for you. That's that's kind of the story here. And Jesse Ventura is chasing him because he's a bad guy, right? And we find out that, Abraxas has been alive for, I don't know, a couple of 100,000 years or something. So, we're making up crap. You would figure if somebody has the capability of making a cybernetic being and can live that long, they would have figured out how to fix the male pattern baldness. Just saying. They could at least give Jesse a nice hat, Abraxas hat. They could have gave him something nice to wear, right? But they didn't. So yeah, they come to Earth and you're like, okay, they're running through the forest, which a lot of this movie you can tell they found a town and they just shot everything in that town because, there's scenes of a house, the woods, an RV park, a strip club, and I guarantee you this is all in the same town. But yeah, Secundus is running from Abraxas, and he steals a car, and in the car is this woman. And what every woman loves to hear from a man from the future or from wherever, an alien, says, I need your body. There you go, right? Straightforward, not throwing any punches, pulling any punches, maybe throwing punches, I don't know. While all this is going on, we got a couple of guys, it looks like Udo Kier and Lindsey Buckingham, and they're on a leftover Star Wars set, at the end of episode 4, where Princess Leia and all them are gathered around all the screens. You got the clear plexiglass glass screens with all the, techno drawings and stuff on it. It looks just like that. And they're saying, Abraxas can handle the job. Of course he can. That's why you send him, right? But so there's an argument that he can't. I don't know. But yeah, so dude just basically grabs the chick, puts his hand on her belly, and zapadee zapadoo, she got a baby. And she has it 5 minutes later. That's that's some powerful stuff right there, man. And Jesse, Abraxas, sorry, he finds the girl. She's on the ground. Her belly's swelling. He's got the gun pointed at her, and he knows he's supposed to go ahead and shoot and kill this child. But she's innocent, so he feels bad, so he doesn't shoot her. But he should have, because, this kid's almost like, I don't know, the son of Satan. I don't know, the son of Seducus. I keep changing it. Secundus. And, and then, both the bad, the bad guy Secundus leaves and Abraxas leaves, and then you get this girl raising. And then let's just face it, anytime a cyborg alien comes down and meets with a chick, they're gonna have the ugliest baby. But the baby's not ugly, but they're gonna have the ugliest kid on the planet. This poor guy. I mean, it had to be a have to have. We need an ugly kid to play this part, because they sure found him. And poor kid, man, run around, freckle face, big teeth. He's got it all. And so yeah, 10 years pass, and we get a little monologue of the girl saying, well, I just never know how this was going to be, raising this child. And it goes through the thing where she's trying to, get a birth certificate for it and stuff. Well, who's the father? Well, I don't know. I'm the mom, though. So, you got that kind of story going on. And like I said, 10 years later, the boy's in school. He's having trouble at school. All the kids pick on him. you know, because he's just butt ugly and he's weird. And one day at school, this kid with a green sweater and a mullet starts picking on him. It is 1991, so we haven't totally phased it out yet. The green sweater, I mean. And you know, the kid like draws his hand back like he's gonna punch, you know, the ugly kid in the face, and he just stares at him and makes him pee his pants. So everybody starts laughing at the bully kid because he's got a mullet for one thing, but he's peeing his pants right there in front of all of them. And then later on the day, freckle-faced kid goes to the bathroom, washes his hands, and here's Billy Mullet behind him. You're gonna pay for what you did. And the kid just like looks at him and is like twitches, and the bully kid goes flying into one of the commodes in one of the stalls. So kid didn't even have to touch him. He's got these powers. You know, okay, that's cool. I got it. But then, yeah, now it's time for Secundus and Abraxas to come back. I don't know how they stayed in hiding away from each other all this time. I don't know if Succubus went hiding for a while or what, but he comes back. He's trying to get the kid and, you know, disrupting the town. He's knocking people around. You know, they shoot him with guns, but don't hurt him. And, you know, you get all these things going on. He's got this power where he can, like, grab your head and squeeze it a little bit, and some electricity comes out and you evaporate. So that's how he finds him some clothes, because I'm telling you, these outfits that the space police are wearing, that Abraxas is wearing, it looks like he works at the Epcot Center in Disneyland. It's kind of almost like a one-piece jumper. And speaking of that, Abraxas comes down, lands in a RV park, and jumps in the RV with these folks needing help to track down Succubus. And he says, hey, y'all got any clothes I can have? And what do you know? They had a World's Gym shirt and a raincoat. Not a black raincoat, just a regular brown raincoat. So here's Jesse the Abraxas Ventura walking around looking like a moron with his rat. He's got a rat tail. No hair on top, but a rat tail in the back. Because, you know, when I think of futuristic, I think of rat tails. And everybody knows that's in the past, right? Episode 1 of Star Wars. It's that far back, folks. Way before our time. In a galaxy long ago, far, far away, right? So, yeah, we get you know, the chase pursues, and then he ends up finding the woman that's had the baby, or Abraxas does, and he decides to hang out there and save them, because when Succubus or Secundus shows up to get Co-Mater, which is the kid's name's Tommy, but Succubus calls him Co-Mater all the time. Maybe Succubus is just he's a redneck alien, you know? That boy's cute. He's just like one of them little co-maters. And so, you know, this kind of goes like you think. They have one fight, and then, of course, Abraxas gets hurt pretty bad, but then he's okay. You know how that works, because he's a robot. And but you don't see anything that implies that they have any kind of different skeleton underneath. It's not as cool as the Terminator, even though this is 100% a Terminator ripoff. You know, he just says, "Oh, my body is made out of things harder than anything on this planet that you have." He's telling the girl this. He walks in on the girl. She's taking a shower, and she kind of ends up being interested in him, because she starts asking, well, you didn't shoot me. Why? You know, back when he was being born. He says, well, because you were innocent. Not because I thought you was pretty and none of that stuff. I ain't got time for that. I'm chasing a bad guy named Succubus, and I ain't got time for loving, babe. And but now I do. So she's taking a liking to him, but nothing really happens. And then it comes down to the showdown again between the two blockheads. Matter of fact, Secundus ends up finding Co-Mater and chases him up into this abandoned building. and the kid's like doing a Luke Skywalker, or like more like a Darth Vader, like throwing things at him and setting things on fire, trying to keep him away. But you know, this dude's a cybernetic robot. He can just walk right through the stuff. And but then Abraxas shows up, and then, you know, it's kind of like 2 against 1 kind of thing. And eventually, Jesse Ventura puts the claw on him, and it zaps him, and his face blows up. But the composite they use is like when you blow up a planet, right? But they just put that on his face and just make it explode, and it looks hilarious. And then, you know, I think Jesse Ventura does a Superman 2 where he gives up all of his powers and his life and all that mess to stay there on Earth and make out with the chick and raise Cole Mater, and, you know, maybe get him some cosmetic surgery so he'll look a little nicer. And who knows? Maybe Hair Club for Men will have something for Abraxas, and it's all good, right? Then he'll go on and become a governor or whatever. That's pretty much this movie. You know, I made it sound a lot cooler than it is, folks. That's what's bad. It's really not any good. Pretty typical. Lots of big, heavy, oversized steroid guys running around in the forest trying to shoot each other with guns that make the same sound, no matter how big the caliber is. And, you know, an ugly kid they're trying to get rid of. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5. It just didn't do it for me. I was disappointed. So, but anyways, there's still some fun that could be had with this, I do believe. Because I had fun talking about it. Not so much watching it, but I love talking about bad movies because it makes for a much better conversation. Because I can make fun of the stuff, and it don't matter, right? All right, folks, that's it for this episode. You know the routine. We will check you later. Secundus.